Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. I think last time we talked to the gallery owner and she was like super condescending and called Rin a kitten, and Rin was just like, "Is this really the 22nd corner?" And we were like, "Bruh, there's a little bit more important stuff going on," but she didn't care. So that's where we were. And now we are in this room. I don't remember how this happened. Rin applies for, and thanks to Nomiya pressuring the principal, I'm sure is granted leave for the rest of the term for exceptional extracurricular activities. She has to make up for it during summer vacation, but it seems she doesn't mind. Rin will still be able to eat and sleep at school, of course. She just doesn't have to go to classes. I'm not entirely sure if I envy her or not. It all makes me feel anxious somehow. I mean, it's a stressful situation. It's the last day of school for Rin. I feel like I should send her off with a word of encouragement, or at least say something. It was sort of due to my influence that she decided to dive headfirst into this after all. My class ends a good 20 minutes early, so I walk down to the lobby and buy a can of juice, and then sit on a bench and wait for Rin. I pull out a novel from my bag and search for the place where I was. Time stretches comfortably over the warm afternoon while I idly sip my orange juice and read a few chapters of the book. The plot doesn't seem to advance at all, but it's all the same for me. Bing bong, bing bong. Bing bong, bing bong. The bell rings to end the school day, and students shuffle to club meetings or outside. Nobody notices me sitting on the bench with my nose in the novel. And if they do, they don't talk to me because I am sitting there minding my own business. I keep watch for Rin, but I don't see her familiar face or red-tinted hair passing by. So I go to her room. I check my watch 20 minutes past the end of class, when the lobby has all but emptied of people again. Even Rin should have already managed to get out of class, but either I missed her walking by or she never came downstairs. Maybe she's in the art room. Yeah. Perhaps she went to the art club room for some last-minute things instead and got held back by her strict homeroom teacher. I haven't really waited that long, but having grown tired of it already, I decide to go to find her myself. I stuff my book back in my bag and throw the now empty juice can in a trash bin and then climb upstairs. All of those sound really intense for what you probably did. The hallway is eerily quiet as there are no club rooms apart from the art room nearby. I check there first, but not even the teacher is in. Coming back toward the stairwell. Ha! I quietly knock on the door of 3-4 and push the door open to peek in. Peep! Yellow sunbeams cross the classroom, falling across the floor. The dust and chalk floating slowly in the air make the light almost palpable. The entire room bathes in a gentle light shining through the windows, washing the shadows away. Only one person is inside the classroom. Oh no, she's sleepy. Oh. She's exhausted from all her decisions. Rin sits in what I assume is her seat next to the window in the third row. Her head rests against the desk. I wonder if she slept through it all. Apparently not even Emmy had the heart or maybe the capability to wake her up. I close the door quietly, walking past the neat, even rows of desks. I go over to where she sits. Rin? My mouth is suddenly so dry that the word comes out as a tiny whisper. She doesn't answer, so I set my bag down on the floor next to hers and lean over her to look at her face. Rin's eyes were peacefully closed, the long eyelashes projecting thin shadows onto her cheeks. Her mouth is slightly open, letting me hear quiet sound of her breathing. Okay. He is one of those types that like to watch girls sleep. This is like the third time this has happened. Her usually messy hair is even more so today, lying in complete disarray over half of her face and forehead. Her bag is lying at her feet like a forgotten rag doll. A few books and pens have fallen out of it near her seat. The scene makes me smile a little. Okay, it's just a hand. I didn't know what it was. It just appeared out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, what's going on? I touch Rin's head lightly, sweeping a few strands of hair off her ear. Her hair feels warm against my palm. It's probably because it's been sitting in the sun while she's been sleeping. Rin stirs, and I retract my hand on reflex, feeling embarrassed for touching her so casually. I mean, you've already hugged and kissed. I'm pretty sure that a little bit of hair movery isn't, you know, a breach. Maybe it is. She looks so vulnerable, like any sleeping person. Okay. It's impossible not to feel fondness towards her. I sit on the desktop of whoever is in front of Rin, then draw the window slightly open to get some fresh air in. Hopefully it will wake her up, and I won't need to resort to cruder methods. Oh, look! That's cool. They got a little animation going. That's nice. She doesn't wake up, but I didn't really expect her to. Looking at her makes me feel tired as well. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a quick nap either, but I content myself with leaning against the large window. The glass is warm against my ear and cheek, and these windows face west toward the setting afternoon sun. That afternoon light is slowly melting into Rin's auburn hair, softening her outline so that she seems to be fading into her surroundings. The minute twitches the minute twitches of her muscles, her hair swaying in the air current, the even rhythm of her breathing, it all gives a strong impression of a dreaming girl. Like all sleeping people, Rin looks like she is away from this world in some distant dream country. With her, it doesn't feel so obvious that she would ever come back. She seems so detached from her surroundings, even when she's awake. In fact, she has the same kind of air about her when the realization hits my consciousness without warning. Rin sometimes looks like that when she is painting. Her focused expression gives the same feeling of being on the other side of some imaginary gap as looking at her sleeping face does. I feel a pain in my chest. Oh? There's no way I can close that gap to be on the same level with her. It hurts, even though I know that it's impossible for any two people to truly understand each other. But Rin, she's almost literally in another world when she's talking about art, thinking about art, or making art. It's a world that I, or anyone else really, can't share with her, just like the world of dreams. Rin still doesn't show any sign of waking up, so I'm faced with the decision to either rouse her myself or wait for her to awaken on her own. I choose the latter. Waiting is something I'm good at. I found that out during my hospitalization, but even the hospital ward was more lively than the school after classes are over. The only sound in this place are the loud ticking of the clock above the door and the distant voices of students down on the grounds. What about the wind? A genuine summer breeze blows inside from the window I cracked open, full of warmth and carrying the scent of light. I look outside to see where it came from. The light? You know what the sun is, don't you, Hisao? But I'm dazzled almost instantly. The window glass seems to trap all the sunlight within, making it painful to look that way. All I can glimpse through the window are dark silhouettes of the trees and the wall around the campus against the setting sun's radiance. As I turn back to watch Rin, she stirs again. Oh no, she cry! I don't want her to cry. Wake her up! She crying! Get her! Get her! A single tear worms down the corner of her eye, slowly making its way across her face before it falls onto the desk. Wake her up! She's crying! It's tiny, barely a droplet, but captivates me. Another tear follows the first, and then a third. A feeling of anxiety overcomes me, petrifying me on the spot. It's so strange seeing Rin's face peaceful as she sleeps at the same time as tears stream down her cheeks, wetting the wooden desktop she rests her head on. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing and just watch the tears roll one by one down her face. Wake her up! I wonder what she's dreaming about. I don't know, but she's crying. Help her! Rin wakes up after one final flinch, or perhaps because of the tears. She sits upright and yawns so excessively it looks like her jaw might dislocate. You made me yawn, Rin. She notices my presence, but her reaction is more like the lack of any reacting at all. It's just an acknowledgement, no startled gasp or anything. She already knows you'd be staring at people when they sleep. Hello. Good morning. She's so groggy she can't even return my smile that I somehow can't stretch to be entirely honest. Rin notices her wet cheeks and quickly wipes them on the shoulders of her shirt. It seems she isn't all that surprised or flustered by them. You cried in your sleep. A bad dream? No, it's nothing like that. It's something I've learned to do from other people. Yeah? It's a funny story. I'll tell you later. On second thought, not really that funny at all. I guess I won't tell you. Did you want something, or did you just come watch me sleep? I wanted to see you after classes. Oh, well, it's after classes now, and I'm seeing you right here. Yeah, I just wanted to say good luck or something. I figured the upcoming weeks are going to be a lot of work for you. Indeed they will. Thanks. Ren yawns again and blinks a few times. I feel weird. Didn't really sleep much last night at all. Butterflies in your stomach? What? No. I mean, yes. I know what that means. Butterflies. Don't really feel so good now. It'll be fine. You're so confident. Someday I will bite you in the ear. I'll look forward to it. I think I have to go. I promised Mrs. Sionji that I'd go there straight after school, and now is after school. Is it okay if I come by sometime? I'm guessing you're planning to work long hours, so if you'd prefer to avoid distractions. It's okay. It's not a distraction. Not like Emmy. Don't bring her with you, though. I wouldn't like that this time. I told her to stay away. Aw. I see. Alright then. I guess that's fair. She got a lot of work ahead of her. Can't be having all these big ol' Emmy distractions, and Emmy is too rambunctious. Ren stands up and silently walks to the door, with me following behind. The school's empty hallways, devoid of the usual crowd of students, feel very lonely. It's only a few hours since school ended, but the building seems to be all but deserted. Our footsteps are all that intrudes upon the stillness of the hallways. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers to liven it up. Okay, Hisao. This seems like a good time to talk about that. It's like the school has become a private world for just the two of us, a desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. I'm going to change. She says this out of the blue while we walk down the stairs from the third floor, and it makes me wonder how she views this challenge that lies ahead of her. That's what people must do sometimes. That's the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there's so much that we could talk about. And even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into the stagnant air as if they were never said. Is it a boop boop? Oh! This might just have to be a really short episode. I'm not confident on the following. I thought that would be really long. I'm not confident that it won't be really long. So I'll just leave it here. We kind of watched Rin sleeping, and even though we've said that we're not the type of girl that like to watch girls sleep, we lied. We've done it a lot, and we seem to enjoy it enough to not wake them up and to just watch them cry in their sleep. And I think that's about all we learned. And also I think that Rin is very upset about the upcoming events, but she can't really express it in words, so she expresses it in her dreams, and she cries. Poor baby. Okay, I'll leave it off here, and I will see you guys in the next one.